Tragedy on the N1. The Limpopo bus disaster of October 2025. The weekend of October 12, 2025, brought devastating news from South Africa's Limpopo province, where a tragic bus crash on the N1 highway near Louis Trichardt claimed dozens of lives. The DNC coach's bus, a cross-border transport vehicle, was carrying passengers on a long journey from Jiquiweberha, Eastern Cape, to destinations in Zimbabwe and Malawi when disaster struck on the notorious Soutpansberg mountain pass. This incident has prompted a national conversation on road safety, the enforcement of transport regulations, and the human cost of negligence on our major transit routes. The staggering human cost. The final official death toll from the crash was confirmed to be 43 fatalities. The deceased consisted of citizens primarily from Zimbabwe and Malawi, including 18 adult men, 18 adult women, and 7 children, 4 girls and 3 boys. Many of the victims were seasonal workers returning to their homes and families. The intensity of the crash and the subsequent fire made the identification process incredibly challenging, requiring close cooperation between the South African, Zimbabwean, and Malawian authorities. In addition to the lives lost, 34 occupants sustained serious injuries and a further 6 sustained minor injuries, bringing the total number of affected passengers to over 80. The cause? A confluence of failures. A preliminary report released by the Road Traffic Management Corporation, RTMC, has revealed that the crash was not a simple accident, but a tragedy caused by a catastrophic combination of 3 primary factors. 1. Vehicle unroadworthiness, mechanical failure. The most shocking finding was the bus's critical mechanical state. The RTMC found that the bus and its trailer were operating with only 5 out of 10 brakes in functional condition. All 4 brakes on the trailer were non-operational, and 1 brake on the bus itself was defective. Furthermore, the suspension on the trailer had been poorly repaired. The bus was, by regulation, unroadworthy, yet it was allowed to travel on a major highway. 2. Speeding and driver error. The investigation concluded that the driver was traveling at a speed considered excessive for the conditions of the mountainous pass. Survivors like Malawian passenger Willard Suwidi stated that the bus had been speeding after leaving Makado, and they had pleaded with the driver to slow down. 3. Overloading. The bus, a 62-seater, was carrying a total of 91 occupants at the time of the crash. This meant the vehicle was grossly overloaded, putting immense strain on the defective braking system, especially while descending the steep mountain pass. Survivor Tikauna Mukandiona, a passenger traveling to Harare, reported having to stand for a portion of the journey because the bus was already full when he boarded. The road surface, weather conditions, and signage were not deemed contributory factors to the disaster. The disaster, therefore, rests squarely on the shoulders of the operator and the regulatory failures that allowed a heavily overloaded, mechanically deficient vehicle to be on the road. A community's grief and a call for accountability. The disaster has left a trail of immense grief. The story of Cynthia Razawu, a relative who spent 3 agonizing days searching for her loved one before identifying the body from a photo, illustrates the desperation and trauma experienced by the affected families. Transport Minister Barbara Creasy has since directed the RTMC to investigate the bus company's responsibility, examine their maintenance records, and identify the testing center that issued the roadworthy certificate. This tragedy has become a powerful, painful example of the consequences of weak enforcement and the flouting of crucial safety regulations on long-distance, cross-border routes. As the nations of South Africa, Zimbabwe, and Malawi mourn, the collective call is for swift justice and, more importantly, a stringent commitment to ensuring that a disaster of this nature, caused by such glaring negligence, never happens again.